What's going on, guys? We're back again with another video. My name is Melina, and I'm back here with another Arsenal-related video for the big game on Sunday. Arsenal versus Liverpool at home at our fortress, the Emirates. Can we take on Jurgen Klopp's Reds, or will we struggle at home with the form that Arsenal has been on fire lately and the best start to the season so far? Quality of signings in the summer, as well as unleashing the full potential of Granit Xhaka. Now, today's stream is going to be a match preview for the Liverpool game, but also a mini match build-up. I do have a great friend of mine joining me, Luca from Luca AFC. Will be interesting to hear his opinions and his view of our predicted starting 11 and how well we can take on Liverpool now than ever before. Before I get into this video, if you do like my previous videos, if you have seen my previous videos, do feel free to check them out. Give me a like if you haven't already on this video and press the red subscribe button to be notified and the bell icon to be notified whenever I go live or whenever I do pre-recordings. Shout out to the family, everyone tuned in the chat so far. I really appreciate all your support all across the world. And shout out to everyone watching on Twitter. If you are watching on Twitter, do feel free to hop on over to my YouTube channel. It is called Miss Melina. And you can entertain and participate in the chat. I can read your comments. On Twitter, unfortunately, I cannot see your comments until after the stream. So if you do want to get involved, have your say, do hop on over to my YouTube channel and join the live chat. Now, let me go ahead and run back that intro real quick and then bring in my guest for today. And Luca, first of all, thanks so much, mate, for the first time in a long time coming on my channel, and it's a massive opportunity to have you on, so I really appreciate your time. How are you doing, Luca?
I'm good, man. Outside of football, I'm good. I'm not too bad. Thank you very much for inviting me on the channel.
And how confident are you ahead of the Liverpool game on Sunday? I know we spoke off air a lot of times this week. I was pretty confident at the start of the week, but the nerves are slowly kicking in as we fall closer to Sunday's kickoff. Are you feeling confident of the game, or are you nervous? How do you feel?
Look, everybody knows every time when Arsenal play, I put tweets out during the game and I get stick for it. My opinion, but no. Anyway, no, I think I have mixed emotions about this game as it's getting closer to Sunday. I know we still have a day and a half left, but for me, I'm confident we can get a draw at least because. Look, Liverpool, of course, going to this game is a must-win for them. Yes. Okay, it's a must-win for both teams. And I know Arsenal. I know we've only lost one game as it stands at the moment to Manchester United at Old Trafford, and Arsenal have already won there twice in 16 years. But for me, Liverpool are going to be going there with a high intensity. They're going to go there and get us on the break. If they score first, they're going to play low block. And that's what they're going to be doing. Klopp's going to go there to win and attack. And if we're not on our A game, then if we don't come out how we've done very well, then Liverpool will punish us. They've got quality. You saw it the other night against Rangers. I know people said to me, "Look, come on, Luca, it's only Rangers," but it doesn't matter because Rangers got to European final in the Europa League. Did Arsenal get European football?
Can't underestimate any team. No one expected Fulham to draw to Liverpool in the Prem, right?
100%. But the thing is, we've got to get at least a minimum of draw, and a win would be nice. But if we get a win, we will be 14 points clear. But if we draw the game, it will be like 11, 12 points clear. So at the end of the day, we have to go there and score the first goal. We've got to score the first goal at home. We're at home. We're the 12th men behind the crowd, behind the North Bank. So we've got to score the first goal and play like we did against Tottenham because, yes, we're going to have moments in the game where they're going to actually have the ball. I get that because they've got a better manager, they're a bigger club than us, and they've got bigger European success and they've got quality all around the pitch. But however, they're going to have their moment. Let them have their moment. We just want to play our own game and we can get them. We can get them. Yes, our record is crap. However, we haven't won in all competitions since lockdown 2020. But we've got to come out and score the first goal. It's about the performance. It's about the battle of the midfield.
I think what I want to say is Liverpool are a team that like to play a high line intensity, a high press. And if we mess up defensively, as in if we make defensive errors, sometimes Gabriel makes mistakes, he's rash, and that can cost us, especially against a big team. If we're not clinical and if we're not taking chances, if we don't have a tidy defensive back line, we would really, really struggle. I do see a comment in the chat, Matthew asking a combined starting 11. Matthew, I don't do combined 11s on my channel. Personally, Liverpool have been really poor this season, to the start of the season so far. I think both teams, however, need a win and are hungry to win. Arsenal definitely want to stay on top of the league as much as possible, keep City on our shoulders, behind our back, and give City a run for their money. It's not City, it's more like Haaland's league and Haaland's team, because he's just a goal machine and he's going to get 100 goals plus this season, personally, I feel. With that being said, Luca, I do want to stress the importance of our starting 11 being as strong as possible, going all out. I mentioned yesterday on my match reaction for Bodo Glimt that personally I felt it was unnecessary to have Gabriel Jesus, Bukayo Saka coming off the bench in that game. They should have been rested entirely for the game on Sunday in the Premier League. That's a lot more valuable to us and a lot more importance to us. Our focus should be using squad players in the cup games. The other thing I want to say is, personally, I feel we should play Kieran Tierney over Zinchenko. That's the only one change I want to see from the North London Derby starting 11. I feel I want to see Kieran Tierney have a great game. He had an exceptional game and personally was joint man of the match with Fabio Vieira, arguably. For me, it's either the two of them from yesterday's performance for man of the match. Kieran Tierney, the direct crosses that he has, the amount of taking a man on, and also the directness of his game. The trying to help us create chances and getting there. He's a player that gives 150% every single match. He has that leadership, he has that quality and that hunger in him. And you saw yesterday, he's fighting for his place back in the starting 11. There's that healthy competition we see with this Arsenal squad. And personally, I prefer to see Tierney take on someone like Trent and take on someone like Mo Salah again on Sunday night. I also want to say our defensive back line should be solid. If we make defensive mistakes, it's easy for Liverpool to break our defensive line apart and rip us apart. Games are often won on the midfield battle. Our midfield, keep the same midfield. Xhaka, Thomas, and Odegaard. Don't do any changes. Lokonga, he can come off the bench and make an impact. In the last 10, 15 minutes, substitute your players, focus on the next game, and try to go toe-to-toe with Liverpool. This is the first time in ages I'm feeling confident to take on Jurgen Klopp's Reds. Liverpool have had a poor season so far, but they did beat Rangers 2-0 with a penalty goal by Mo Salah and a wonderful strike by Trent Alexander-Arnold. We have seen how shaky Liverpool's defense have been at times. We've seen Notek Nunes get red card sent off. We've seen Darwin Núñez shine in the league so far, but he's still a young age and he still has time to prove himself. Now, with our squad, we need our players to fully turn up and we need them to show us what this game means to them. Personally, we've always drew with Liverpool. I think we have 9 draws with them in our history so far, as Jack was saying. I was just on the Anfield Road TV on Jack's channel. I believe that's his channel name. I'm just going to confirm. Yeah, Anfield Road TV. Yep. I was just on his channel not long ago. And nice to see Jack in the chat. Thanks so much.
Thanks for having us.
And thanks for the opportunity, Jack. Hopefully we smash Liverpool apart and I can come on your review for the game and, hopefully say that Arsenal are looking strong and we continue that momentum. If we lose or if we draw to Liverpool, the one thing I will say is, did we have a good performance where, you could take that draw and run away? Or did
when you say that,
chances? Because, Luca, let me tell you, in the Fulham game, in the Brentford game, there were times where we could have doubled our lead if players like Odegaard and players like Martinelli, when they had the opportunity, they should have just taken the chance from where they were at the time. They were in great positions to shoot, and there were several times in the game where we sat back. We sort of kind of allowed the opponent to get a glimpse of the game when we should have put the game to bed. Brentford was an amazing game and a stellar.
Brentford was a very good game, don't it?
It was a great game, but there's sometimes Arsenal, they sit back and they try to let the other team get into the game. How do you feel going into this game, our lineup wise?
Look, to be honest, before I do say about what I think about the game was, if we do lose the game and if we don't put in a good performance, I will get into the team. I will get into the players. And however, people are going to be like, "Oh, Lukey, don't be negative and all that." But anyway, how do I think we'll do? For me, I think we have to come out and score the first goal. Okay, that's what we got to do. And for me, he'll be fit. He'll be fit, Thiago. He'll be fit.
So breaking news, according to the Anfield Watch on Twitter, there's no signs of Thiago Alcantara in the latest batch of pictures from Liverpool's training. I believe that was
he'll be fit.
Discussion, but I think Klopp is playing mind games as usual. We'll see Thiago tomorrow. And as you know, Luca, the two players that rip us apart every time we play them is Firmino and Jota. Firmino is someone we need to keep quiet. And we really need to worry about Jota. Jota, came back from injury. We know what he has the potential of, and we know what Firmino is capable of. We know the mind games that Jurgen Klopp plays, and if they're saying now Thiago Alcantara is not seen in training, doesn't mean he's unavailable. It can easily, well and truly be mind games, so do stay tuned for that. We'll have more details about the starting 11. Hopefully, early team news from leaked lineups on Twitter, on Instagram. So it would be cool to see our starting 11. Personally, I feel we'll go with the same starting 11 as Tottenham. Hopefully, we see Zinchenko or Kieran Tierney. I want Tierney to start. What about you? Zinchenko or Tierney?
For me, I want to see Kieran Tierney start because I know a lot of people are saying that Zinchenko will start. Fair enough, he might. But I would prefer Kieran Tierney because Kieran Tierney, put in a fantastic shift yesterday against FC Bo Glimmet.
Yes.
But Tierney needs to start in this game. I know a lot of people are going to say, yeah, he's just come back from injury, Luka. Zinchenko needs to come in and all that. But I'm worried about Zinchenko in this game. I'm not saying Zinchenko's rubbish. I think we've got two great left backs. The last time we've had two great left backs was actually Gold Clichy. So I took your advice from there because I didn't know that. So I could have said Kolasinac and Andre Santos, which were worse. But no, anyway. I do think Kieran Tierney has to start this game because you want to stop the likes of Diaz and Jota. Liverpool look like the old team, right? That played the other night. People might say, "Oh, it's Rangers, Luca. What you on about?" No, it doesn't matter what opposition, who they play. They could play someone like Celtic.
You can only play what's in front of you, and Liverpool did turn up against Rangers.
Liverpool look fantastic.
And I didn't expect Trent to get that goal. I'm going to be honest. I didn't expect Trent to even turn up like it.
And at the end of the day, I'm looking at it and I'm thinking the way Liverpool plays felt like the old Liverpool. Okay? Because Zinchenko this Matthew has made a very good point. Zinchenko starts, you'll be in trouble.
He's a different kind of player. That's the thing with Zinchenko. The quality that he brings to the team, he's very versatile. That's the thing I like about him a lot. But in this game, we're going up against a team that likes to press and a team that likes to play. Hopefully they'll probably try to get us on the low block and get us on the counter. Now, keep in mind, we are playing at home. And at home, Luca, can you say the stat that at home our record?
In case you guys don't know this, because we said this on Jack's channel, Anfield Road TV. In case you guys, this is what people, short memory, right? What people are forgetting. Since 2015-2016 season, Arsenal have only lost 3 times at the Emirates against Liverpool.
It's a different story and a different entire conversation, a whole different conversation when we're at Anfield. Anfield is a very threatening and a very scary place. We have no chance against Liverpool at Anfield. Now, this season, it's a different Arsenal. We are sharper than ever before. And as I said, a fully fit Thomas alongside Granit Xhaka, you get the most out of Granit Xhaka. He's able to roam forward more, and he's able to offer more in terms of being that creative role in midfield. And we see a lot more from him, especially in terms of his development and his redemption at Arsenal so far. Jack says, our attitude has stunk this season. On certain games, we cannot afford to be at 50%. We will get destroyed. This was the first time in a very long time, Luca. We have Liverpool fans as friends, and they said they're not confident. But we, on the other hand,
do you think Liverpool fans are actually saying that and actually being honest? Or do you think they're just saying it, getting ready?
Oh, it's Arsenal. I'm a bit scared. Normally for Liverpool playing against Arsenal, they do the even Tony line. Oh, a nice kickabout with the boys, a nice training session for Minamino, Firmino, and Jota. You know, it's like a training session for them whenever they play us. So I'm really looking forward to it. I think both teams can be very well and truly up for it. It's a matter of which Arsenal turns up for sure. We've been destroying the season so far. We got our first clean sheet since March yesterday against Bodo Glimt in the Europa League. But one thing we have to say is we should not get too carried away, and we got to stay consistent and continuity. If we have a strong starting 11, I don't see a reason why we would lose the game. But we need to be clinical and we need to take our chances. Luca, there are many times, as I told you earlier, you know, Jesus gives an opportunity to someone like Odegaard. And instead of taking the chance from where he is, he ends up doing 1-2 techie moves to try to do a nice pass before shooting and ends up losing possession. And that's not what we can afford. We're playing at home. The fans need to be behind every single player in the team. In the starting 11 team sheet, be behind every single player. Our home is the Emirates, our fortress. We need to make it feel like our home. And again,
the fans have got to be up for it on Sunday.
Definitely not having a good start to the season. Let's be honest, Luca. You know, they're really missing Sadio Mane, Fabinho being injured. Who else is injured? Robertson, Andy Robertson. We don't know about if he's fit. But with players like Jota, players like Darwin Núñez, players like Luis Diaz and Salah, who knows if Mo Salah will turn up or if he will be a shadow of himself.
Look, I look at it right now. Look, like Thiago, for me, he's going to be playing in this game.
Yes.
It's only a precaution. Partey had a precaution when Ghana had their game on Tuesday, and for me, Partey was like, he went back to London Colney, and it was mind games for Arteta.
And it could be well and truly mind games from Jurgen Klopp on, you know, while Thiago might not feature. It could just be mind games to make Arteta do a different starting 11. Personally, I feel Liverpool will stick to the same starting 11 against Rangers. I feel like that's worked for them, and Jurgen Klopp is going to stick to the same thing. Why change the windows when they're not broken sort of expression? Eric says Arsenal should actually win this. Coming from a Chelsea fan, that's surprising. Eric, thanks so much for your support. And Aubameyang did score in the Champions League. It pains me to say that, but he looks like a great FPL asset if we're talking FPL. And, you know, credits to him when and where it's due, even though he's at Chelsea. Phil says Liverpool are not where they should be defensively. Our attacking lineup should beat them. Phil, our attack gives a lot of credit for Gabriel Jesus. The signing of the summer, Gabriel Jesus, and I know Fabio Vieira has shined yesterday, and we've seen glimpses of him before. He got goal of the month for September for his goal against Brentford, but Gabriel Jesus has been the quality striker we were missing. Last season with Lacazette, we had nothing. We had no service whatsoever, and we often had chances. We couldn't even finish our dinner because of Lacazette. Respects to Lacazette in the season with Aubameyang when we won the FA Cup and all of his contributions, but it was more than well time to truly move on and to get a better and complete striker. Ankit, thanks so much for tuning in. Hope you're well. And nice to see you, mate. Surya Gunnar, thanks for tuning in. He says, hey, Mel and Luca, is this really going to be the year for Arsenal? Luca, I'll let you take that question. What do you think? Are you confident of us, let's say, getting top 4 and winning the Europa League?
For me, if you're talking about title contenders, we're a million miles away from that. But top 4, right? Oh, yeah, we can get top 4 this season. And this is what people are forgetting. Like people saying that we can get top 4 without spending in January.
Yeah.
Be careful what you wish for, because look what happened last season. We had midfielders out, players went out for African Cup of Nations. I think people are forgetting about last season. And I know, look, we need to sign a central midfielder in January.
Yeah.
We need to sign a winger. Even if we don't sign them, I do think we will scrape top 4. But for me, we have to spend in January, okay? Because this manager has spent 400 million under Edu and Stan Kroenke in that, yeah? Kroenke, for me, I'm not his biggest fan. I'm not any of the boarders fans. But I've got to give credit to Edu for credit's due that he's gone out and actually done very well. But we've been in this position
the first
before.
time in a long time,
We've
actually,
been in
we
this position
sign
before.
players early on in the window. We normally never do that. And we normally never sell players to the last minute. I know we got peanuts for some players and we loaned some players out who needed a loan, like Tavares, for example. We did our business, majority of our business early on in the transfer window and got a full preseason with the lads. And that's something Arsenal didn't do in the past. We never had a proper full season. Phil says Martinelli had Trent Alexander-Arnold in his pocket last time. I'm looking forward to seeing that matchup again. Phil, I'm gonna one up you with this. I'm looking forward to see Saliba have a good game, and I'm looking forward to him to take 2 more Liverpool players in his pocket. At 21 years old, he pocketed Ivan Toney, Wilfred Zaha, and Heung-min Son, and that's incredible. I really hope, the consistency and the comforts, as well as the, confidence he has in that defensive role as a center back at that age, so composed in that back line, he adds that quality to our defensive back line. And I know I said this before, Luca, you remember the times we used to cry and shout at the TV because we had Mustafi in the center of our defense.
Liechtensteiner,
Liechtensteiner, yes. We had players like Andres Santos for our team, and they were not good enough. We had players like Sebastian Scalesi for our team, and they were awful for us. I'm looking forward to see Saliba really and truly show
us. This is
us,
a big test.
Can he take on Liverpool's players?
This is a big test for
Liverpool players? And I want these players to take 2 to 3 men on. Don't be scared. Go for the ball first. Take your man on. And track back when you need to. And we really need to work on that. I'm looking forward to see how we do on set pieces as well. We've improved immensely on set pieces so far.
This is the thing. Like, you don't know what to expect from set pieces because we score from set pieces this season. And it's going to be, you've made a very good point. And that's something where I didn't touch on in my preview with Doug today. I should have thought about that as well. But no, with set pieces,
a lot on set pieces, actually.
Set pieces is going to be the interesting because Liverpool have got players who can score from set pieces. They've got a world-class team on their day. And for me, yes, Liverpool have not been the best this season. Yes, they're having a bit of a blip at the moment, but they can still turn it. And if they beat us on Sunday, I'm not surprised. But at the end of the day, right, I will look at it and thinking, right, this is the best chance to beat Liverpool.
Yeah.
Remember when we played Manchester United at Old Trafford a few seasons ago and we drew 1-1 in that game? Aubameyang, it was a crap.
It was our best chance to beat them, though. Yeah.
So
I think now, like as we said off air, now is our best chance to take on Liverpool.
Never beat a team animal.
They're missing Sadio Mane. They have injuries in their squad, and they have Brighton at home at Anfield. Brighton deserved to win that game. If I'm being totally honest,
they did. I watched the highlights. I didn't watch it when it was. I didn't watch it when it was live, but I watched the highlights the next day.
Ripping them apart, mate.
Hazard scored a hat trick in that game.
Yep, so exactly. Getty FPL, shout out to Gaza. Thanks so much for tuning in and thanks for your support. He says Arsenal will win 3-1. Good evening, all. Una Emery, there is our long over. Mikel Arteta is here to stay so far. And nice to see, Arteta being less naive. That's something I do give him immense credit for. Using the substitutions appropriately and using them on time. And we have competition, healthy competition that we missed for years in certain positions. Now, that doesn't mean we don't need to strengthen because as Luca and I said, we do need to buy a midfielder and a winger in this upcoming January window. Priority number 1 for me personally should be a backup midfielder. Our players are made out of glass, especially in midfield. And we need to have
get injured in the shower and stuff.
Yeah, you saw that in the All or Nothing documentary with Tierney. Shout out to Jordan. Thanks so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. And Jordan, may the best team win tomorrow, which is Arsenal Football Club. I hope we destroy Liverpool, and I hope we have a great game. Now, Michael Oliver is going to be the referee for Sunday's game. I don't know who's on VAR. It's not Mike Dean, thank God, or it's not Paul Tierney. So we should have a chance. Suri Gunnar says, I'm really scared. Hope we can beat Liverpool. Suri Gunnar, I don't think there's something to be scared of. Even though we lost to Man United, I think now's the best chance again to take on Liverpool. Take our chances, be clinical, and make sure, Liverpool don't catch us on the counter. Man United are a counter-attacking team. We played too high line up front. We changed substitutions, and we struggled. Our line got messed up, and it was easy for Rashford to cut through and score 2 goals on the counter.
I'll let you read this comment.
Yeah, so this is a great question from Curved Glass. Thanks for your support, mate. He says, are the Kroenkes becoming good owners?
Nope, and I'll tell you why. Because the reason why people saying, oh yeah, the Kroenkes, yeah, they backed this manager. But think about what people are short memory. Think about over the years. Why is it that our fan base, right, stopped about getting the Kroenkes out? Yeah, why have they stopped protesting? You need to protest. I ain't been to a game this season yet so far. Yeah. So
in my opinion, I feel Kroenkes are backing Arteta more, which is why they gave him the contract extension in the first place. But I don't feel it's Stan Kroenke doing the work. I feel it's Josh Kroenke. Now, with that being said, I need to see a lot more from this club. I need to see a lot more ambition from this club in terms of the transfer window. We've improved immensely this transfer window where we didn't wait last minute to sign players. We're not signing players on a free who are retirement players. We've signed players who are hungry and ambitious who want to be in this club.
Look, that's a positive thing, but at the end of the day, look, I understand. Look, we were linked with We're linked with Kante. I don't want Kante at Arsenal.
I don't think that's true. I think that was just paper talk and just rumors. Why Not makes a good comment here in the chat. Shout out to Why Not and shout out to Brother Grinder and Mr. Miami 305. Respects to you guys. See you later in the evening. I will be there on Grinder's channel for the Chop It Up. Looking forward to that and to talk all things NFL and all things basketball as well. Why Not says, what is the point of backing Kroenkes if you back rubbish? So I guess that's what you're trying to say. Luca is, yes, they have done good in this transfer window, but I want to see more. You want to see a lot more in terms of
I want is what is best in the
competitions.
What I want is what I want from our football club. In January, we're so rubbish at.
We didn't sign any reinforcements.
Yeah, in January, if they really believe that they want to get top 4 and add a European trophy or any trophy to it, then go and get us 2 players in January. Yeah, that are going to improve the team. They don't have to be world class, but players who actually want to show ambition and show attitude. And that's it. Go and get someone like a Douglas Luiz. I'm not his biggest fan, but for me, it's a good signing in January because it's smart business. Go and get a top winger like a Sahar or a Neto. Then I'll be like, you know what? You've actually backed this manager. I'll come round, clap my hands on StreamYard, and I'll say, you know what? You got Champions League football this season. You've actually really had a great season. So
for me personally, Luca, I just want to agree with Curved Glass. We got 2 big players from Man City, Zinchenko and Gabriel Jesus, as well as the Fabio Vieira signing was unexpected. No one really thought, Arsenal would even get linked to him. For us to go after players like Gabriel Jesus and Zinchenko, Gabriel Jesus, especially early on in the window, the quality that he brought into this team from Lacazette. I know Lacazette had a good season earlier on in his time at Arsenal, but last season, his time at Arsenal was finished, and he wasn't offering any service in front of goal. The biggest threat to Lacazette in front of his goal last season, oftentimes, was his own shadow. And, I agree with Curved Glass. I think, the Josh Kroenke is showing more ambition and is showing accountability in terms of, showing that we still need reinforcements, giving Arteta the money and, backing Arteta on if he wants someone like Mudryk or if he wants someone like Danilo, if you want someone like, Douglas Luiz from Aston Villa. Go after them, get the money, and get the player, whether it's Yuri Tillemans in January on a free, whether it's Douglas Luiz, or whether it's actually Mudryk like they're already planning and they're already targeting the January target.
That's really good
There's
about
not
Arsenal.
long to go till January. We're in
No,
October already.
we're in October already, and this is what
We need
happens.
to plan. We need to plan, and we need to get in the window early on. January window, it's hard to get permanent signings, and that should never be an excuse. Last season, for us not signing any reinforcements, costed us, as well as injuries that were inevitable, top four. And why not? Jesus and Zinchenko are not enough. I understand. We already discussed why not earlier on in the stream before you joined that we do need a midfielder and a winger in the January window at the minimum in terms of reinforcements.
For me,
And
look,
I do want to say we also should loan out Sambi Lokonga. I feel he needs a loan spell. He's a great player. I think he has quality in him, but he needs the minutes under his belt and he needs the first team football
but
experience.
with Sambi Lokonga, right? Look, don't get me wrong. I like Sambi Lokonga, but for me, he needs a loan deal. He needs a year or two on loan, like we've done. And
we've done it for Balogun as well. You see him on loan at the moment as well.
People might criticize and say, "Oh yeah, he's playing in a piss league." You put Balogun in a PSG side, he ain't scoring. You put Balogun in a Lyon side, he ain't scoring. Doesn't matter what club it is, right? It doesn't matter whether it's a bang average or a B plus team, right? It's about he actually has confidence and he goes out on loan and gets experience. But for me, yeah, I do think January we do need to spend. Like me, I'm not a big fan of Mudryk, right? I think people are getting overhyped up over that. I want someone Premier League proven or an upgrade than Pepe. Midfielder Luiz, I would be happy with that. He's not my first choice, but I would be happy with Douglas Luiz. I think he's got Premier League experience. He'd be a great backup to Thomas Partey. And I think January is massive.
And if we strengthen in January, when the business half of the season comes, that's where this really matters. We're going to have players going to the World Cup next month. And who knows what will happen in terms of injuries. This month alone, we have a lot of fixtures with the domestic competition of the Europa League. And why not stressing the importance of a right back? Yes, we know Ben White's natural position is not in a right back. And we're using a makeshift right back at the moment. At the moment, it's working. But I agree, we do need a right back. And as I said earlier in the stream, minimum in the January window or in the upcoming summer window, the minimum positions that we need to address is a midfielder, a winger, a right back to start with. But we do have quality in the squad, and you can't deny that we haven't strengthened from the past. I also want to mention William Saliba. William Saliba, this game against Liverpool is going to be a great game for him. It's going to be a way that he can show his intensity up against a big team, a so-called big team. He done it against Tottenham. He had Heung-min Son in his pocket. Do you feel Saliba will handle the pressure of Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool?
Look, I look at it with William Saliba, right? He has come in and he's had a great loan spell for 3 years. And Saliba has come in, he's done well, and I'm happy with Mikel Arteta that he managed to bring him back. I would be very surprised if any Arsenal fan, any individual fan base will be very surprised or weren't surprised that Saliba was expected to come back. I didn't think he wasn't going to come back after what Saliba done in his private life, but I'm not going to say something on here because it's private. But no, we don't want to mention it. So with Saliba, I think he's done fantastic. I think he's absolutely been fantastic. Yes, the mistake against Leicester. All defenders are going to have mistakes, even Van Dijk as well. So I know a lot of people are going to have their little criticism. But I think with Saliba, this is a massive game. He's going to be under pressure. He's got to deal with every Liverpool attack coming forward. They'll be flying forward when Liverpool do play a high intensity and if they get us on the break, on the low block. That's why, Melina, I think Saliba has done well this season. And it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting
to see how well we handle this month, because this month is a tough month for us.
And we've been through this same situation before.
We got lucky because our Man City game got postponed, and we got lucky there. Haaland, I feel, would have destroyed us, if I'm being honest. Haaland is unstoppable and really took revenge for Alfie Haaland, his dad, against Manchester United. 6-3 game was shocking. I didn't expect that many goals.
No.
It's incredible to see the quality we have in defense, the quality we've strengthened, but also in midfield. When we have a fully fit Thomas Partey, we get the most out of Granit Xhaka.
Yeah.
And we're starting to see Granit Xhaka be able to free roam more up front
Right,
and be more
Saka.
creative. What I'm nervous about though is Granit Xhaka previously got sent off against Liverpool. And we've got red cards before playing Liverpool. I want our players to be rash, to be less rash, and to be more careful, cautious, and more, alert. Positional awareness as well as directness of your game. Be more attentive, and hopefully the officiating decisions does not go wrong in terms of, the inconsistency in the Premier League of officiating we often talk about. Paul Tierney, Mike Dean, and Anthony Taylor for Chelsea fans. You know how much they complain of Anthony Taylor. You clearly see it sometimes, the inconsistencies in officiating. For me, if we're playing really well and if we're playing to our strengths, there's no reason to have to bring up the officiating. If you're playing well and if you're trying to take Liverpool toe to toe, there's no reason for you to say, "Oh, the officiating costed us. Oh, VAR costed us." Curved Glass is saying watch along on Sunday. Yes, I am doing a watch along on Sunday. However, it's not on my channel. It's on a good friend of mine's channel who does a channel for charity for children with liver disease. His name is Stephen Featley. I will be on his watch along on Sunday. He did invite me on. So shout out to Stephen, a great brother of mine and a great friend of mine. So I'll be there on Sunday. Thanks for asking. Niall, thanks so much for tuning in. Really appreciate your support. Who's the ref on Sunday? It is Michael Oliver.
Michael Oliver.
We got saved there, but I don't know who's on the VAR. Why Not says, I didn't think Saliba was coming back after slagging off Arteta when he got shipped off Arteta penitentiary with Guendouzi and not giving me a chance comments. Yeah, a lot of people said, oh, Arteta and Saliba didn't have a good relationship. Even Luca at times messaged me saying, look, I don't think Saliba's coming back. GFFN keeps saying that, oh, Saliba wants to stay. He's happy at Marseille. He got Best Young Player of the Year award at 21 years old. And the ceiling is upwards and onwards for him. Players like Fabio Vieira, hopefully we see more game time from him. Arteta promised us that in cup games we'll see more from him. And he'll be able to unleash his full potential, getting more game time in cup games. And I'm excited to see our players, thrive this season, but also show us what it means to them, because last season the end of last season really hurt. Top four was so close to our hands and it slipped away in the last month. Jordan says he's excited for Sunday. He is a Liverpool fan and he's really, really hyped up about Liverpool. Personally, I feel he needs humbling.
I found out who the VAR is.
They're going to beat us, this, that, and the third. But I think you're coming across a different Arsenal. And Virgil van Disney and Trent Ballerina-Arnold should be afraid of some of our players. Our attack has been fluid. Our attack has been strong. And Liverpool without Sadio Mane are like a wounded animal. With that being said, I'm not going to underestimate.
Why is it that Liverpool? Why is it that?
I'm not going to underestimate them at all. They often play like shit the rest of the season, and then when they play up against us, Jota and Firmino rip us apart.
But why is it that Liverpool are worse without Sadio Mane?
MAA is spot on. Shout out to MAA, great friend of mine. He says Michael Oliver has ruined us for over a decade. You are spot on. I think officiating wise, whoever you get is going to be probably a bit of a bias, but also, poor officiating decisions. One thing I do say and I do stress is if you're playing well and if you're playing to your strengths, there's no reason to, have to entirely rely on poor officiating decisions. Yes, you can bring it up in your discussion and in your analysis, but for me, it's more like these players need to be held accountable. Did we play to our strengths? Listen, the last thing I want to ask before we get off air, what are your score predictions for the Arsenal versus Liverpool game? Do you think Arteta will win the battle against Jurgen Klopp? Who will rise on top? And will Arsenal keep and retain their position on top of the league? Keep in mind, Manchester City are playing Southampton this weekend. Actually, I think that's tomorrow, isn't, if I'm not mistaken.
3 o'clock.
Tomorrow. So it'll be interesting to see how well they do, and specifically Erling Haaland, the goal scoring machine. Um, and why not? You are 100% right. They are missing Mane, which was the glue of their team and the glue of their press and attack. And Salah has been a ghost of himself. We did speak to Jack, a Liverpool fan, and he said he wasn't entirely confident, and he actually predicted a draw. Luca, I do want to ask Doug from Dugout Football Channel, what was his score prediction for the game today?
His score prediction was 2-1 to Arsenal.
Oh, wow. Okay, so it's interesting because a lot of Liverpool fans who we have mutual friends with haven't been necessarily as confident as they would have been in previous years. So that's, interesting to see. But we do also have a lot of Arsenal fans who are mixed feelings. So I'm very confident. I'm pretty confident, but closer to the game, I'm getting a bit nervous in terms of, will we score first? I feel if we score first, we could control the game, we could control the tempo, and not allow Liverpool to catch us on the break. Nip, and respects to you. Thanks so much for tuning in. Really appreciate your support. MAA says Liverpool suddenly stopped performing when they're no longer allowed their performance-enhancing inhalers. Yeah, asthma inhalers, and it's interesting to see if they'll turn up. Away from home, will they turn up? They nearly lost to Brighton at home. Maybe that could be a confidence boost for them. And also the Rangers win against 2-0 against Rangers the other day. Will Liverpool get the 3 points, or will they go out with a draw or a defeat? Personally, I do want to say before I ask Luca his score prediction, let me know your score predictions in the comments down below. Nippin, I don't have a Liverpool fan on today. I was actually just on Jack's channel, Anfield Road, and we had a great discussion with him, me, Luca, and Russ Morgan. So if you do want to check that out, you can check out the Anfield Road TV, or you can check out on my Twitter. I did just post it not long ago. And Luca, one thing before I say my score prediction, I feel like Arsenal, this is the best time to play them. We can go toe to toe. If we score first, we control the tempo of the game. It's at the Emirates.
Yeah.
We have a good record against Liverpool at the Emirates, and I'd take a draw out of this if we're playing well, we're playing to our strengths, and Liverpool are also up for it. I'll still run away with a draw. Nippin, we are playing at the Emirates. Personally, I feel we'll win 2-1. A goal by Granit Xhaka and a goal by Gabriel Jesus. The one goal from Liverpool, I feel, will come from Luis Diaz or Darwin No-Touch Nunes. I personally feel it's going to be from Luis Diaz because he's in form. He looks sharp, and he looks like an explosive player. He is still very young. He has a lot to prove, but he's been doing good for Liverpool so far. Nowhere near a Sadio Mane level, but it's interesting to see his potential for Liverpool. They have a great player in him and a great signing. However, we need to focus on what's in our own yard, which is at the Emirates. Luca, what's your score prediction for this game? Do you feel Arsenal can get a result against Jurgen Klopp's Reds?
Look, to be honest, right, look, like I said earlier, and I'll say it again, big up Ladness Prime. Hope
Yeah,
you're good.
shout out to Prime, shout out to Nippin,
But
and shout out
no,
to Kevin. Thanks for
big
tuning
up to you, Chelsea supporter. Look, I think we can get a result against Liverpool. It just depends how we play out. If we play like we did this season, we can get a minimum of point in this game. I don't think we'll get 3 points in this game. And I'm not saying just to be negative. I just can't see it. I think we will draw. I do believe we won't lose this game. If we do get the first goal, it's crucial. We must get this first goal against Liverpool because Alisson's a great goalkeeper.
Yes.
Look, Liverpool are going to have their moments, like I said earlier in the show, because Liverpool have got quality around the pitch. They're going to play a high-intensity high line, right? And if they start Jota and Diaz, I will panic. So yeah. I will be very, very happy with a draw. I know you might get the Arteta fans, right, and end up saying, right, oh, yeah, it was the best chance to beat them, blah, 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 blah. But at the end of the day, a draw is a great result against Liverpool. We would love to get a W over Liverpool. We haven't beat them in 2 years. But however, in a real competition, if you don't count the lockdown season, we haven't beaten Liverpool for a very long time.
Yeah, for a very long time.
For me, I think
9 draws against them, I believe,
And
uh,
we've only lost 3 times at the Emirates since
yeah.
2015.
I'm pretty confident for this game. My score prediction is a 2-1 Arsenal. I really feel we can get a result.
2-2 draw, I'm going to go for.
2-2 draw. Who do you think will get the goals for Arsenal?
Goal scorers for Arsenal, Jesus and Granit Xhaka.
Okay.
For Liverpool, if anyone could score for Liverpool, probably Salah and Jota.
Salah and Jota. You think Salah's going to turn up against us?
Yes, he always turns up against Arsenal. He always
well, he didn't turn up against Fulham, mate.
No, but yeah.
And Trossard destroyed them. But anyway, with that being said, I am going to wrap up this match preview and small match build-up with my great friend Luca. Luca, thanks so much for joining me on the preview, and shout out to everyone who's tuned in on Twitter. Shout out to everyone who tuned in directly on my YouTube channel, for all the regulars and for all the new people tuned in. I really appreciate your support. I reached 3,300 subscribers today, and it's been a massive opportunity. But also, it's been incredible to interact with fans in Nigeria, in Africa, from far away, talking about the Arsenal. And the one thing we all have in common for this football club, we all want the best for this football club, and we want to see Arsenal pursue where we should be, back in the Champions League. Luca, we're going to do this on Sunday. Hopefully we get the result. If Granit Xhaka...
We're going to do this!
If Granit Xhaka scores a screamer, I'm going to be knee sliding in my room during the watch along. Shout out to Prime, Niall, Arsenal Alex, MAA, and everyone who tuned in. Gaza, Clement, Nippin. I really appreciate all of you guys. Josh, Matthew, Renee. And shout out to everyone who tuned in. HJ90, Curved Glass. Luca, where can everyone find you? And tell us a bit about your channel. I will be on your channel after my match reaction for the Liverpool match reaction on Sunday. Hopefully, we're both smiling on Sunday as well. After we destroy Liverpool, I really hope for that. Fingers crossed, and pray all the defense and none of our players get sent
off. I won't
off.
be getting into Mikel Arteta because a lot of people will be tuning into that.
Well, so where can people find you, Luca?
Yeah, thank you very much for having me on. It's always a pleasure. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, and that includes people in the comments. Luca AFC. Not only do we do football content, match previews, match reactions, we also do Premier League predictions. I do sometimes when I can, and I do day out vlogs. I went to Newcastle and Yorkshire last week, so I went there last week. So for me, that is my YouTube channel. We are on the road to 2.5K. If we can get there, that would be fantastic. So we are live again, 6:30 on Sunday. So make sure you guys put that in your notifications. We are live 6:30 p.m. on Sunday. Follow me on Twitter, MartinelliAFC1, and follow me on Instagram as well. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed. That's what it's there for. But thank you very much for having me on. I've enjoyed everything.
Thanks so much, Luca. And shout out to Manny for tuning in. Really appreciate your support as well. And thanks so much for all that you do for Steven. It's really nice to see a lot more support for him, considering what he's gone through and what he's still going through health-wise. But with that being said, I am going to wrap up this video. I will be back later tomorrow with an FPL team selection video. My team is looking awful. My rank is looking horrendous. And that's why I've been ducking FPL videos. Truth be told, I'm broken to the top 70K, 700K actually, and it's not good enough. It's not looking good. My players are a disappointment, and I'm looking for Mitrovic replacements at the moment. Possibly bringing in a Aubameyang into my team, or an even Tony, but stay tuned for that. Do click on the post notification bell to be notified whenever I go live or whenever I do uploads. Yeah. Check out my Twitter. It's Miss Melina7. Hit me up with Fantasy Premier League questions or Arsenal-related discussions, and I will get back to you. With that being said, respects to everyone who's tuned in live. If you're watching on the replay, do check out my previous videos on my playlist, as well as I feature weekly on FPL Casuals, a channel where we talk about FPL analysis, rate my teams, and also engage with other managers across the world. And thanks to everyone who tuned in tonight. Have a great rest of your weekend. Come on, you Gunners, up the Arsenal, and hopefully we
on.
come back on here with 3 points at the Emirates.
Let's see, man.
Take care, everyone. Have a great night, and thanks so much for your support.
Have a good
Bye.
weekend. Bye for now.